Hey, welcome back guys. So in this lecture we are going to learn about what is JX and JSX where we will use in the React, right? And before going to set up our project and everything, we should have the understanding of the JSX, right? So this is a very basic questions generally people ask in the interview room also. So before writing the code, you have to understand the JSX files. Okay. So JSX is nothing but a JavaScript XML. Okay. So JSX stands for JavaScript XML. It allows us to write HTML in React. So if a developer wants to integrate some HTML code inside a web page in the React, so what we have to do, you have to write some HTML code inside the React, and that will display in the UI. Okay, so that is easier to write because JSX is easier to write and add HTML in React. So it is, we can say, it is a way to write HTML code in React in much easier way. Okay, so either you can say it is easier to write an HTML code in React, or it is easier to uh, write documentations of code in such a way it is a code as well as readable. Okay, as much as we will do some hands-on, we will understand bit by bit. Okay, so let's go to the next level. So how to write JSX code? So first example is with the JSX and second example is without the JSX. So first we will go through the without one. What we have to do? So we have a const my element here. So we have taken one const my element. In that we are going to write a react dot create element. So React has a own module, and when because we already told you like React is a JavaScript library. So if this library React is a library contains a create element as a method, and it contains the HTML element we want to pass h1 tag, and then the curly braces we will talk about it this expression later, and then the single quote that we want to display on the page. So this is the content, and this is the curly braces, and this is the h1 tags. Actually, so we are binding this content with these braces. Okay, so next how we will display. So in the React DOM, from the React DOM it will display to the real DOM. Okay, so we have to write first React DOM dot render, and then the render will display the element that you have created just now here. Okay, so you have to pass this my element into the render method, and then the other document or get element by id, that is a root by default. So first node is in the React is a root. So first document is get element by id, we are passing root, and then we will see my element when you console out. So you will see the first id is by default div is root, and inside that we are going to use another h1 tag and other things, right? So inside this div h1 sorry root, we will pass the h1 tag. In the h1 tag we have, I do not use JSX here, right? And in the example first, if we are going to write with the JSX, what you have to write? We have to write const my element, and the h1 tag we will pass exactly same as the HTML code we used to write, right? So in the h1 tag we will write my element, and then the React DOM we will pass a dot render my element get element by id, and then we will pass the root. So we do not need to write the create element here. We will just write the h1 what do we say, HTML code, and then we will bind into the React DOM. Okay, and React DOM will display the actual HTML code in the UI. Okay, we will see in the hands-on when we are going to do. So first we have to understand one by one. So we will be better to understand in the coding, right? Now another topic is also here is expressions in JSX. The const we have written were my element. So the const we are writing here h1 tag, and we are ending the h1 tag here. In between I have written React is in the curly braces 5 plus 5 equal to 10, and the times better with JSX. Okay, so React is 10 times better than JSX. So 5 plus 5 is a calculation. So this expression in JSX can be if any expression we want to calculate, we want to do some calculations, right? So we will have to pass the curly braces in the JSX, so that with the JSX we can do some calculation, while yeah, we can say we can make a dynamic page when the server from the server any user will access the page. Okay, So for the dynamic page, we will write curly braces, and we will pass the what we can say, dynamic content. Okay. Again, we have the expression can be a React variable, and the other is a property, and any other valid JavaScript expression we can write here. Okay. So JSX code will execute the expression and return the result. Okay. So we will see you in the next lecture, where we will see how to write and set up the basic programmings. Okay. So let's see in the next lecture how we have to write the JSX code like this, and the HTML code we will bind into the React DOM, and it will display to the UI. And so this is all about the JSX. Thank you guys. Please stay connected and subscribe my channel. Thank you.